Picture this, a recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 22nd of February 2021, the year that just keeps on giving. I do apologise for the lack of reviews last week, but unfortunately I had to make the tough decision to take my dog to the vet, and unfortunately she didn't come back out again. 16 years, long time, but you know what? She's had a good life. Anyway, that explains my absence. I hope you guys are all doing really well. But today I'm looking at GraviBots on the Mega Drive from Retro Souls, and it's a rather good one. Also available on the ZX Spectrum, which you might be interested to have a look at as well. Because I might be looking at that one down the line, I think. But there we go. Yeah, it's a really fun little game, but then the Retro Souls games generally are, and they always put the emphasis on the gameplay and the fun element, and this is what games should be. Games should be, you should be able to put it in your console, put it on your computer, put a tape in the drive, whatever you want to do, but the end result should be that you remember it for being fun. And all the Retro Souls games that I've played so far have all been absolutely amazing. Like Yazzie, that's one of theirs as well. You can find that reviewed on the site. Now, we're going to have a look at what we have to do first. So, in this game, what you've got to do is you've got to use your environment to guide, I think is the best word, to guide all of these little robots into the spikes. Now you can't run them next to them unless they're pointing in the right direction. So you've got to use all of these little functions. Now if they're red, you can't move them around. If they're yellow, you can move them, which is very, very easy to do. I'll come on to controls in a few. But absolutely brilliant game. Really, really good fun. So yeah, you can see there, if you have a look and see what I'm doing with the, I don't even know what we call them. Should we call them pads? I think we'll call them direction pads or whatever. We'll pick it up as we go along. But the idea is to get all of the robots into the spikes by the end of the level. You can see it's a passworded system as well, so that's quite a nice thing. And presentation-wise, it's absolutely lovely. So we're going to go into this a bit more. So originally, I believe it was originally released on the ZX Spectrum, and now it's been converted to the Mega Drive, and it's free to download. Go along and grab a copy for yourself. I think that everybody should have a play of this game. If you're a platformer fan, you're going to love it, and if you're a puzzle fan, you're going to love it. Oops. Now it is one-hit death, so if you manage to suicide dive into the spikes yourself, you will die. If you get hit by an enemy, you will die. And that's about the only ways you can die, so just be careful. Now every level has a different layout, as you can see, and every level has a way of winning. Now it's not always obvious on which pads you're going to use at which time, but that's for you to work out and do the best that you can. But I will tell you this, it works really, really quite nicely. And I've not found frustration. Now I did have a little play with this before I did the review, before I came and I'm playing it now like I am in front of you right now, but I always like to get a little bit of perspective, and sometimes I just go straight in and what you get is raw. But this I've had about 5 minutes on, so I kind of know what we're doing, but we'll carry on with it. We'll persevere with it. But so far it's a lot of fun. So graphically, we're going to look at that now. So you can see that it's very, very well done with the animations are really sort of cutesy. You've got your robot has, I mean, it's just like you can see the little face that he's got there. It's all very well done. It doesn't need fantastic graphics to be an amazing game. You know, graphics don't make gameplay, do they? At the end of the day, I think this is where a lot of these new games come in and doing it wrong. Because at the end of the day, when we were, you know, in the era of the ZX Spectrum and the Amstrad and the Commodore 64, and, you know, even to a degree the NES and the Super Nintendo, Mega Drive and Master System, shall we say, that era, which I like, is almost the golden age, isn't it, for a lot of people. So they couldn't really deliver really amazing graphics, but they could deliver amazing gameplay. And I think that's what I remember the most from that era, is being able to put in a tape, put in a disc, whatever, load it up, and just play for hours. Especially with a Spectrum and Amstrad, because you were there for like 5 hours waiting for it to load. Maybe not quite 5 hours, I think maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. But it always felt like you were waiting forever for a game to load. So on that basis, I'm glad, you know, with this, cartridge games were pretty much instant load anyway, but they still had to be fun because cartridges were damn expensive at the time. We're looking at about £40 in UK currency to get yourself a cartridge game. So they weren't cheap, so they had to be fun. Now, granted, not every developer got it right, and I've just run into the spikes because I'm too concentrating on talking about prices. So yeah, because of the price of these things, like I say, not every developer got it right, but 9 times out of 10, we had a pretty decent game we could get stuck into, and we would play it for hours. So there we are. But we never thought in the day to actually pass the controller and make it into a multiplayer game, because this one, again, is a single player affair. However, you have unlimited continues, so you could share this game with as many friends as you like, really. Pass the pad and on you go. So yes, graphically I love it. It's simplistic, but it works incredibly well. Sound-wise is really nice too. You've got some really nice meaty sound effects here, and you've got a soundtrack that is just so addictive, and you will be humming it. But it's really well done. Very, very impressed with this. The quality of the game is second to none. It's fantastic. So there we are. If you want to use these passwords, by the way, feel free. I'll leave them on screen for you, enough time for you to write them down. But yeah, and each level is just engineered that little bit more to test your mettle against these little robots. And if you're a puzzle solver, you're going to love this. So control system is very simple. Basically, you've got up and down, left and right, and then you've got collect, which is basically just button A on the control pad, and then you've got your button B will reset the level if you make a mistake, because some of the pads that you collect can't be collected once they've been put down. They will turn red, so you won't be able to use them. And if you do happen to mess it up, there is an escape clause. So there you go. You just push the button and it resets the whole level. Which again, Retro Souls do that with their games. You could do that with Yazzie as well, which was quite well, you needed it, shall we say. But you know, sometimes these levels take a little bit of time. They're not always immediately obvious and where you need to put your pads. So experiment with it. As long as you don't get hit by anything, plus the fact you've got these unlimited continues, you might as well just have fun with it and play. Get as far as you can. It's a great game. I'm fully endorsing this. It's absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't already, check out some of the other Retro Souls games. They are fantastic. So please have a look at those. But gameplay wise, well, it's a bit of a masterpiece. You're just going to enjoy playing this game and getting as far as you can. Just remember to get your passwords written down or screenshotted or whatever you want to do. This does work on a Mega Drive, by the way, so if you can put it on a cartridge, then please do so. I know there are various cartridges you can get for retro systems that enable you to put some ROMs on and play it on the actual console itself. Have a go. because there's lots of them to do. Even the Spectrum and Amstrad games and stuff like that, all the independent games are very, very good fun at the moment, and it's nice to see what the consoles are capable of now that we would never have dreamed possible back in the day. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So yes, keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing some more independent game reviews over the next week or so, because there's been a few new ones released recently that I haven't got round to playing yet, but I'm going to, and I'm going to bring it to you guys, and I hope you're all enjoying the channel content. But yeah, if you're going to criticise me, by the way, make sure it's constructive, because obviously some people don't know what a review actually entails, but I'm not going into that right now. I've had enough on my plate over the last 2 months to worry about that. But I'm back and I'm having fun, because it's one thing in this crazy world at the moment that we all need a little bit of. It is fun. So I implore you, go to the website. I'll put the description in the link below, and you can go off and download this game, and you can play it on a Mega Drive emulator, or you can put it into your cartridge and play it on a real Mega Drive. That'll be fun. Now let's say playability wise, I think you're going to be coming back to this one over and over again, but just for the fun factor. It's so good, and I know I bang on about how good things are when I'm enjoying something. I do, and I love it, but I like to share my enthusiasm with you guys, because these developers are doing such a good job. I mean, you can get this game for free, but I always sort of recommend that you go and support the developers by giving them a little bit of money. A lot of the free games that you can get, they also have a name your own price. Even a couple of dollars, couple of pounds, whatever, it's all going to make a big difference, these guys, and they churn out such good material that honestly they deserve it. And giving them the exposure they deserve on YouTube is absolutely paramount for me as well. So there we are. I hope you are all staying safe in this crazy time. I know that it's difficult. We can't go out and socialise at the moment. So I hope this channel's making you smile at least once a week, whatever. Go back on my back catalogue and have a look. If something makes you smile, then I'm doing this channel. I'm doing you guys a service. I enjoy doing it. It brings the fun time back into my life a bit, and knowing that you guys are enjoying it, that helps a lot. I know this review isn't up to my normal standard, but I've had too much to deal with over the last couple of months. However, I'm gonna get back in the saddle, and I'm gonna be back reviewing and playing some excellent games, and games that you'll remember. I've got Chuck Rock and Chuck Rock 2 lined up at some point. I've got some Mega CD games I want to look at. I've got some Spectrum, some NES, you name it. And if there's any games that you'd like me to have a look at that maybe I haven't already, then leave me a comment in the description, in the comments below, and I will get back to you. If I've got the game, I'm more than happy to put it on my list, and I do have a list. It's a rather extensive list, but I do have a list of games that I want to look through, and I'll add it to that. And it's just a case of being patient, but I will get round to you eventually. So it just remains for me to really say thank you ever so much for all your support over the last few weeks and months and years that I've been going, and I really hope you will look forward to the next retro adventure that I have to bring you. Anyway guys, that's enough from me. I will see you on the next review. You take it easy, keep it retro, and as always, it's bye for now.
Incoming transmission.